Hey, thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. In this episode, we're going to catch up with leading drivers Pete McMullen and Angus Garrard, and they'll tell us all about their drives on Saturday night. Unofficially, it starts off our new summer carnival here. Officially, we're still 2 weeks away, but we've got the opening round of heats for the DJA Memorial Trotting Series, so a lot to look forward to on Saturday night, and we'll be speaking with Pete and Angus in just a moment. Well, Pete McMullen jumps in the hot seat as per normal on a Saturday night at Albion Park. Peter's going to be in the mix here, there's no doubt about it, always with a good book of drives, and that's no different this weekend. Pete joins us now. Pete, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
King of the Stars, race 1. He draws gate 2. This guy is absolutely flying at the moment, there's no doubt about it. He ran into the flying Nürburgring last week, but his win 2 starts ago was monstrous. How do you rate his chances?
Yeah, he's going to run a super race. Last week his run was still good. He stalled a little around the bend, but he was still coming on the line. So he's a strong horse, and with a good gate this week, he's going to be right up and amongst it and run a very good, solid run.
When he won 2 starts ago, that was the mile, and he did it hard but ran fast time. It's 2,138 metres on Saturday night. Is there any sort of preference for him at a trip, or it doesn't really matter? He's versatile.
Well, he hasn't been in Graham's stable all that long, but we're sort of getting to know him, and he seems stronger than what he does fast. So you would think the trip will help him, providing the race is probably running at an even tempo. So we just got to probably rate him, the best we can, and if we can keep that tempo sort of moving along and make a bit of a survival of fittest, I think he'll be really strong at the finish.
Okay, certainly looks a good chance there. King of the Stars, race 1, number 2. We move across to race 3 again for Graham Dwyer. You're going to take the drive here on Little Change. This guy is going super. Forget that run last week. Bad barrier draw, just no luck in running. He's got a good draw here on Saturday night, gate 2. Looks like he's going to be very competitive.
Yeah, he's you're not wrong. He's absolutely flying, this little horse. You go right back through his form, every single start he hits the line hard, he just sort of gets too far back or gets held up or something goes wrong. But if we can keep him forward and keep him in a good spot, he'll be very close to the speed and hopefully be finishing over the top of him.
Did you have the choice in this race between Little Change and May Wins Best, or you were always going to drive Little Change?
I just left it up to Graham, and he's left me on Little Change, which I'm not going to complain about it. I think it's, especially from the barrier draw and the way they go, and I think it's probably a more suitable race for Little Change. Taking nothing away from Amen's Best, he's a free-for-all horse and dropping class for him. So he's, if he had a good frontline draw, he would have been running a very good race. But with the way the draws are landed, more than happy with the drive I've been given here.
Okay, race 4, you're taking the drive here on BMAC for your dad, John. This is probably the highlight of the night, this race. This is a hot field. We've got One Change, who's unbeaten, 5 for 5. LL Cool J, 1 for 1. And the Fortunate Son, who can run very fast time. You're sort of sandwiched in between all these guys. So this is going to be a really strong race and run at a fast tempo, I'm tipping.
This is actually a pretty exciting race. It's going to be, I think One Change is just such a good little horse. I think he's still going to be too good for him. But, they're going to be going pretty hard, and the Fortunate Son's going to be out rolling along, and certainly make everyone else sort of chase, and it can sort of be the undoing to some good horses. But hopefully if we can get a nice little tuck in there and smother up, and he'll be hitting the line good too. But definitely One Change is definitely the horse to beat there.
He's a great money spinner though, BMAC, just a really fun horse. Tries his heart out each and every time he starts, and really far from the money.
Yeah. He had a really good form for a long period of time there, put together a very good string of wins, and just tapered off a little bit, but he's been up in class, and he's sort of hit his straps again and racing really good, and he's certainly a good little horse.
Okay, race 5, you're driving Got a Moment, you know this guy well. Has he turned the corner, Pete? He just seems like he's a little bit more tractable, a little bit more consistent. He can be a little up and down, but right now he's really good.
Yeah, his last half a dozen starts have been probably his best for a very long time. He's driving a little more tractable. He's just sort of starting to put things together, and he's rock solid fit, which you're probably going to be when you race twice a week. But he's run last week, albeit I didn't drive him last week, I just watched him, but he hit the line better than any other horse in the race. So he's going to run a very good race this week.
Okay, well that's got a moment in race 5, and in race number 8, your final drive of the night, which is the first heat of the DJA series, Greg the Great. Last week, really good, running 4th. He's only got a handicap of 10 metres here in this opening heat. In saying that, though, this is a good quality heat here. But if he gets any sort of luck, I don't think he's going to be far away.
Yeah, I think you've probably just got to drive him a little sit sprint, which is probably his best go. But if he gets the right toe into it and the leaders don't get away too far, he's going to be hitting the line very hard and could be a very good chance.
That probably looks the strongest, I think, of the 3 heats at this stage. But I think just judging by the way he's going, Greg the Great, he's right in the mix here. So looks well placed, Greg the Great. So this series overall, it's really strong. It's only a Group 2 this year, coming back from the Group 1 owing to the pandemic. But you need a good trotter to win it.
Yeah, not only do you need a good trotter, you need a faultless trotter, a good trotter, one that handles the 2 heats and then in the final, as well as you need a whole lot of luck on the night. So it's a very good series, and it's not always the best horse that wins, but the horse that probably most consistent even to get into the final, and then everything be spot on the night. So it's going to be an interesting series, something we're really looking forward to, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out in the next few weeks.
All right, as I said, it's a solid book of drives for you again on Saturday night. Which one are you leaning towards most?
Each and every one of them probably got their chance. Graham Dwyer, he's got his team absolutely flying at the moment, and we said to him a couple of weeks ago, he came and didn't get a winner, and I said it could have easily been 4. So each one of his runners could pop up, or all of them could even pop up. They're all just sort of racing really well.
All right, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries, thank you.
Young gun Angus Garrard jumps in the hot seat to go through all of his drives for Saturday night, and there's quite a few of them. Angus, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me on, Chris.
Bumper in race 1. He's Mr. Consistency, this guy. He's always thereabouts. He's got a second row draw, but there looks like there's going to be a little bit of front-end pressure. How do you see this race playing out?
Yeah, as you said, he's been racing really well, really consistent. 2100 probably suits, but as you said, there could be a little bit of speed there. Although the draw's sticky, we might be able to get into the race at some point and hopefully come home over the top.
Yeah, well, he's going well, there's no doubt about it. That last start second was a really good run.
Yeah, I think he ran home in about 26.3 himself, so we were really impressed with that run, and hopefully he holds that form up.
Okay, that's race 1. Race 2, It's My Generation. This guy, he's standing up to plenty of racing and he's thriving off it. You drove him for the first time at Redcliffe last week. He scored, then he backed it up at Marburg. He probably should have won on Tuesday. He got bombed late by his stablemate Courageous Saint, but he was full of effort in running second.
Yeah, he's been flying. He tries real hard and he's a tough little horse. The draw's probably not ideal, but it doesn't really hurt him, I don't think, drawn on the back of Stomp'em there. So hopefully we can hold the back of him and be behind the leader. Obviously Smart As Can Be is the one to beat there, but I think it probably makes it a little bit tricky for her to get into the race. So hopefully we get a touch of luck.
There looks like there's going to be a bit of pressure early. You mentioned Stomp'em, he'll be trying to hold up, and then you've got Ideal World, he'll be charging over from his wide gate, so they'll be hiking along early. Yeah,
definitely. Like I said, hopefully we can just hold the back of him there and stay handy and hope we can get a split late.
Okay, well that's It's My Generation. Race 2, there's no doubt he is fit and firing. Race 3, Invincible Loxton. 2 runs back. Where's this guy at, Angus? He seems to be a little mixed at the moment. Is he ready to turn the corner?
Yeah, I think so, Chris. He was a little bit underdone his first start and we sort of run along. They just found him out late, but I thought his run last week was okay without being brilliant. He's probably not suited to sort of that sit sprint style of racing, and he got shuffled back the pegs. But hopefully this week we can use his gate speed early and see if we can find top and dictate from there.
If he does lead, he's going to take some stitching out in front.
Yeah, definitely. He loves leading, and hopefully we can, as I said, hopefully we can just dictate and roll him along a bit and be too good.
Do you prefer him at a mile at a good even tempo, or do you think he's better over a bit more distance?
I honestly don't think it really worries him, Chris. He's pretty versatile. He loves the long trip, 2600 or further. He loves it, but obviously we don't get many of them. So it doesn't really worry him too much. If he's in front, he's real hard to beat anyway.
Okay, certainly looks a good chance there at his best. Invincible Loxton. We'll jump over to race 7, Ideal Tiger. You were with this guy last time out when he won at Redcliffe, and that form line's been Frank. Correndap Creek, who you beat on that occasion, has won since. So his form lines look really good. Draw just a little bit tricky?
Yeah, it's a little bit tough, Chris, but as you said, he's been racing really well. His performance last week was great. He's been racing awesome. He was perfect behind Major Fernco last week, a couple of weeks ago after making a mistake there. They went real quick. Hopefully we can get back with a bit of pressure early and come home over the top of him.
Okay, so he's a little underrated in your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's making his way through the garage quite nice, and he's sort of learning the speed here at Albion Park, and I think he'll just get better and better.
Okay, well that's Ideal Tiger. He certainly looks a leading chance there in race number 7. And one of the others that I wanted to ask you about was in the DJA series, you're driving Sir Fahrenheit. You know this guy well. It's a good heat, this first heat, which you line up in, but tell me, I thought he was really good last time out. His sectionals were strong. Do you give him some sort of chance here?
Yeah, I thought he was awesome last week, Chris. He sort of got held up for a bit of room around the corner and got clear late and hit the line really strong. I was really happy with it. The 2600 suit, sorry, and I think from his draw, hopefully we can land handy enough, and I think he'll be right in the finish.
In your opinion, does this first heat probably look a little stronger than the other two, or do you think they're fairly evenly spread?
Yeah, I think so. That first one, there seems to be a lot of depth in it. Northern Muscle, Greg the Great, and obviously Miracle Rising and a couple of others that go quite nice, so I think it'll be quite tough.
Yeah, I think Sir Fahrenheit, though, that run last week indicates that another win's not too far away, so he's well up to winning that with any sort of luck going his way. What is the best of your drives, in your opinion, coming through on the weekend?
I'd probably say Invincible Loxton. I think he can, as I said, I think he can find the front from that draw, and if he can do so, I think he'll take a bit of beating.
Excellent stuff. Race 3, number 4. Angus, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
A big thumbs up to both Pete McMullen and Angus Garrard for their time and insight for their drives on Saturday night. Our good gamble this weekend, I think we'll get the money nice and early. Race 1, number 8, much better. This guy was completely out of luck at Redcliffe last time out. 3 deep the trip, draws behind the likely leader in Power Surge on Saturday night. So against the pegs, a good spot to be. He's going to get every chance. So hoping he'll shoot through along the inside and take the money. So race 1, number 8, much better. That's our good gambler for this weekend. 10 races at Albion Park. If you are having a flutter this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside.